My classmate accidentally sent the wrong photo, and it was the most horrifying thing ever. I don't think I'll ever forget that week of high school. It wasn't because of an exam or a fight or anything like that. It was because of one single, stupid mistake that spiraled completely out of control. It all started with Clara. Clara wasn't the weird kid or the popular kid. She existed somewhere in the middle, quiet enough to blend into the background, smart enough that teachers liked her, and just aloof enough that you never really knew what she was thinking. She wasn't the type of person you expected drama from. In fact, if you'd asked me back then who was least likely to ever cause chaos, I would have said Clara. That assumption died fast. Our math teacher, Mr. Howard, was obsessed with sending homework through a shared online folder. Nobody liked it, but it was better than him reading problems off a chalkboard. Normally, Clara would just upload her work, and sometimes, if we were lucky, she'd even let people copy answers. She was always responsible, always early. So when people were stuck on a brutal set of problems one Tuesday night, everyone begged Clara for help. And she agreed. She said she'd upload her solutions to the shared folder so people could at least cross-check. Sounds harmless, right? That was before she uploaded the wrong file. When I say wrong file, I don't mean she uploaded the wrong homework sheet or some meme. I mean she uploaded something she never, ever meant to show anyone. The first hint that something was off was the file name. Final version, don't open. Naturally, that made everyone want to open it. Curiosity was like blood in the water. Within seconds, 10 people were screaming in the group chat. And then I opened it too. At first, it was confusing. Just a photo of Clara's bedroom. But the longer I stared, the more details stood out. The walls were covered with magazine cutouts. Celebrities, random strangers, even some classmates. And taped over them were sticky notes, all in Clara's handwriting, with things like liar, traitor, mine. In the center of the room was a mannequin, dressed in our school uniform, wig on its head, lipstick smeared across its plastic face, and around its neck, a lanyard with my name tag on it. I felt my stomach drop through the floor. At first, people thought it was a prank, like maybe Clara was working on an art project or trying to be edgy. But the longer the file circulated, the weirder it got. Some swore they saw their own names scribbled on the walls. Others zoomed in and noticed her handwriting matched the notes she took in class. Suddenly, the joke wasn't funny. People started leaving the folder, texting me privately, like, dude, are you okay? Or what the fuck did we just see? I had no answers. I didn't even want to think about it. The next day at school, I expected Clara to be humiliated, maybe crying, maybe hiding. But she wasn't. She walked in calm, sat by the window like she always did, and started doodling in her notebook. No apologies, no explanations, just silence. That silence was worse than any screaming. Wednesday, things escalated. Clara uploaded another file, this one labeled homework, real-time lol. Of course people opened it. It wasn't homework. It was a video. Shaky footage of Clara's room again. The mannequin was still there, but now it was surrounded by lit candles. On the wall behind it, written in red marker, were the words, "You will all see." And at the end of the clip, Clara herself leaned into the frame, she smiled, and she whispered, "Tonight." Then the video cut out. I can't describe the kind of panic that hit after that. Some kids were terrified, some laughed it off as a messed up performance piece. Teachers didn't know what to do, parents were being called, rumors spread like wildfire, like we were living inside a horror movie. I tried to convince myself it was just a joke, just some over-the-top way for Clara to get attention. but I couldn't shake the image of my name tag around that mannequin's neck. That night, nobody slept. We all waited to see what would happen. Sure enough, another file appeared. This one labeled solution.pdf. When I opened it, my blood froze. It wasn't homework problems. It was a scanned notebook page. At the top was a list of names, our entire class. Next to some names were check marks. Next to others were X's. And next to mine, in giant black ink, was the word next. I slammed my laptop shut. My heart was pounding. I tried to tell myself it wasn't real, that she was just trolling. But how do you laugh off something like that? How do you ignore the fact that your name is written on some creepy list in a file uploaded by a girl who stares at mannequins in candlelight? That next day, Clara wasn't in school. No one knew where she was. Teachers looked stressed but kept quiet. Rumors spread like wildfire. She'd been expelled, she'd run away, she was in a psych ward, she was dead. Every theory got crazier than the last. By Friday, the entire class was in meltdown. People begged administrators to delete the shared folder. They did, but it didn't stop because Clara started sending files directly to people. Mine got, at 10:43 p.m. sharp, an email. No subject line, no text. Just an attachment named For You. I stared at it for almost an hour, sweating. I didn't want to open it. Every instinct screamed don't, but I did anyway. It was a single photo. Me. Taken from outside my bedroom window. I don't even remember dropping my laptop. All I remember is running to the window, flinging it open, and staring out into the night. Nothing. Just shadows, trees, silence. But the photo had been taken from there. I knew it. I barely slept that night. I don't think anyone in our class did. Saturday morning, my phone blew up. Clara was back at school. Not just back, she was in the cafeteria, eating cereal, acting like everything was completely normal. Kids surrounded her, demanding answers. She just blinked, smiled faintly, and said, "I think you're all imagining things." Imagining things, like the mannequin, like the candles, like the list, like the photo of me in my room. By then, half the school was convinced that Clara was some kind of demon. The other half thought she was running a psych experiment. Me? I just wanted her gone. And then came the twist. The truth came out Monday morning. Mr. Howard, our math teacher, marched into class, holding a stack of papers. His face was red with anger. He slammed them on the desk. "Clara," he said, "care to explain why every single assignment in the shared folder is actually your creative writing portfolio?" We froze. He started flipping through pages. They weren't homework at all. They were stories, short horror pieces Clara had written for an extracurricular competition. Stories about mannequins, obsessions, creepy lists. Stories meant for fiction, not our lives.